Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. I have a layout process video for you today as part of the Layout a Day project, and if you don't know what that is, all the information will be in the link below. But today I want to focus on quick and simple layouts using a single collection of products to remind myself and you that scrapbooking doesn't have to be complicated. So let's dive in. So you saw that little prompt show up on the screen. I'm going to be telling the story of something I should have known but was clueless, and then using the technique prompt of adding fringe. So those are my two prompts to tackle for this layout. And the story I have to tell is a vacation that we took partially to New York City, and we were just walking around and happened to notice the New Year's Eve ball. And I had mapped out an entire walking route of, the famous tourist spots to catch, and I did not have that one on my list at all. Didn't even dawn on me that I could put that on the list. So this is the funny story about how my daughter noticed it walking by, and we all went, oh yeah, it was kind of that facepalm moment. At any rate, as I'm telling you about my story, I have Vicki Boutin, one of her latest collections, and this one is called Where to Next. That's what it's called. I thought I was going to forget. And I'm just going to use the single collection. I will throw in an extra alphabet from my stash. But other than that, we're going to keep this quick and simple. And I'm going to use one of my go-to layout designs, which is a split layout design with one paper on the top of my layout and another paper on the bottom, and some belly bands of extra pieces through the middle. And so you can see me cutting down all these bits and pieces as I go so that I can get my layers ready. And then we'll be able to assemble everything. And here I am back with all of my parts and pieces. I've got a cloud for the top and a map for the bottom, which makes sense for this travel-y layout where we're walking around outdoors. I'm going to put my two main photos up at the top, and then I did take a screenshot of the map that I had planned to include on this layout as well, because it is part of the story. Now here's where I'm going to do my fringe. I just cut off a strip of pattern paper from one more sheet, and when I do my fringe, I use my fringe scissors. I will draw a straight line on the back, and I will cut up to that line so that I leave myself a good area to glue down. And I decided to rearrange my photos a little bit so that I could put my title on the left, just because that's more typical for our English brains to read left to right. And I'm going to emphasize that focal photo because it's this tiny speck of a dot up there in the top of that photo, which is the subject of the story. I want to be able to highlight that just a little bit more and tie it in with my title, which we will get to. I did have extra fringe, so I will save that little piece as I build up the rest of my layout. I'm going to work in my visual triangle, and in fact, I will kind of have two visual triangles going on, so I hope to emphasize that when we get to that part of the video. Now, I did outline my photos with my black pen to just help them pop just a little bit more. I got my title set up on my little title mat here. It's just like a stenciling sticky mat that can fit inside of your stamping, Misty, and things like that, but I love to use it for titles right now. And I can use a sheet of low-tack tape. That is the mint tape from scrapbook.com. I love that stuff. And that helps me transfer my title very quickly. And I did add a little bit of an extra portion to that title that says, is that the New Year ball? And I pulled out a frame from the Vicki Boutin set. Well, here's where I'm talking about the triangle. So let's slow this down for a second. Okay, starting back from the beginning, I am trying to decide where to place my journaling. So the first visual triangle is between the title, my journaling, and the photos, and that goes in a V shape. And then my second visual triangle can be between my map photo, my upper photos, and my journaling, and that makes an inverted V shape. So that is how I get kind of my two visual triangles merging together for a complete layout. All right, and then moving on with more of the design here, I'm going to use a tag for my journaling. That extra piece of fringe will be a place to build up some embellishments, and I'm keeping the embellishments really simple. That makes for faster layouts, and it makes for less expensive layouts, and it makes the product that I do buy just stretch a lot farther. And since I'm going to have a lot of photos from this trip to work on, I want to stretch those supplies as much as I can so I don't have to buy more packaging packages. All right, to add more emphasis to that upper focal photo, I did find a little banner to dangle under that frame. So it adds textural layers without overdoing the embellishing. So I like to do that with layering up frames and such on top of my photos. I'm adding just 2 pieces down to my title cluster down there. It says sightseeing, and so I added a pair of glasses as kind of a pun to that. And up at the top, I'm adding 1 arrow sticker from the puffy sticker set from this same collection. And then I will use a few of the enamel dot style polka dots that Vicki Boutin likes to add to her collections. And I appreciate those very much because they come in handy for this last little splash of embellishing. So that is it. I am keeping it super simple, but not boring because I use some good design elements with my split design and using those visual triangles in a couple of different interesting ways. All right, I hope I offered you something helpful in this video to take over to your own crafty life. And if I did, let me know in the comments below because I love to hear from you. And until I am back on Friday with another video for you, I hope you have an artful day.